school board meeting, School Board of Lawsville County, July 23rd, 2019. Please stand, join for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We're going to adopt the agenda, and there are some changes, so if you follow along on your scorecard, we're going to move action item 1 up to after approval of minutes. Okay? And then we have some consent items that are being pulled, and so I will go through those. Consent item 9 will become action item 7. Consent item 11 will become action item 8. Consent item 13 will become action item 9. Consent item 14 will become action item 10. Consent item 16 will become action item 11. Consent item 22 will become action item 12. And consent item 33 will become action item 13. Those are the changes. Yes. What numbers? Okay, now with, whatever you're comfortable with this, so if it's just a quick clarifying question, we can read it. If we might read this with it, let's just move it, so that way we don't have to make some changes. Okay, so number 18. 18 is going to become 14. Number 23 will be 15. So it says the 26th. Okay, so those are all of the changes. Can I have a motion to adopt the agenda and read as changed? Do it. Second. Motion by Ms. Thurston, second by Dr. McNeely. Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye. All opposed? Motion passes 5-0. We have the minutes from the June 18th, 2019 school board meeting. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes? Motion by Ms. Thurston, second by Ms. Roy. Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye. All opposed? Motion passes 5-0. Ms. Clark.
Thank you. So we have one administrative appointment this evening for the principal of Irby Elementary School, Ms. Tanya Floyd, and she is here this evening with her family, so I appreciate the opportunity to get them out here this evening a little quicker to from the afternoon. Ms. Floyd earned a bachelor's degree in 2004 from the University of Florida. She then went on to earn a master's degree in elementary education in 2005, also from the University of Florida. And in 2014, she graduated from Florida State University, earning a specialty in leadership and educational policy. She began her career at Littlewood in 2004, where she taught for 5 years, then served as the curriculum resource teacher for 6 years, and then was appointed to be an assistant principal, where she has been serving for the past 4 years. Mr. Chair, I recommend Ms. Tanya Floyd be appointed as principal of Irby Elementary School effective July 24th, 2019.
We have a motion to
Second.
motion by Dr. Paulson, second by Ms. Floyd.
introduce their family to us and.
The reason we went back earlier is so you can leave. But if you want to stay for the excitement, please, you're welcome to do that. Okay, next we have board superintendent announcements. I'm wondering, is this thing out of order basis? We do that before the, yeah, we'll do it the next time. Okay, board superintendent announcements. Any announcements? No? Okay. Now we're going to move ahead to schedule agency booth, which stands for Better Out of School Time, and the presenter for this community agency is Allison Staples. I think you may have eyes out a little bit.
Yeah.
Thank you again for this opportunity. During this presentation, we would like to present the current situation, where Boost plugs in, Youth Development Research Practice Partnership, Vision and Solution, and Next Steps. To illustrate the current situation of our current youth system, we would like to share a few scenarios that represent local youth in our community. This is Mark. Mark is currently at home for the summer with nothing to do. There are no summer activities for middle schoolers in his neighborhood that his mom could find out about. The programs that exist are too far away. His mom works and the bus only comes so far. He really wants to try something new. This is Aisha. Aisha gets home from school every day at 2:30. Her parents cannot afford the after-school program at her school and they work until after 5. She needs guidance. Aisha chats online and hangs out in the neighborhood until dark. She needs guidance and is starting to look at her peers. There are other scenarios that we have provided, and we will provide an email with all of the full presentation to do this tell these stories to illustrate a point which can be seen here on this slide. The current structure of how our community supports youth is not well defined, nor is it easy to navigate for the youth, parents, organizations, or funders and institutions trying to support it. As you can see here, there are a lot of entities working very hard to support youth, but are all doing so in their own universe or silo. This system is inefficient and does not allow all youth to thrive. So it begs the question, how are local institutions supposed to make policy around supporting youth in the current youth system? This map illustrates some areas of concern as it relates to youth density, crime, family income, and vulnerable youth. As you can see here, geographically, there are different needs and challenges based on where youth may live, go to school, or where their parents work. Here are some other statistics, again, that we illustrated due to time. This is where we feel Boost plugs in. Boost stands for Better Out of School Time. We are focused on three strategic areas. First, a resource. Boost is a resource that amplifies out-of-school time programming, youth development, and evidence-based practices in youth learning. We envision Boost being the place where all parents, institutions, funders, and even youth themselves can find information about youth programs out of the school-time learning experience. Second, advocacy. Boost will advocate as an integral part of civic life, education, social-emotional learning, criminal reduction, and mental health for youth. We believe youth are worth investing in and will be providing a voice for youth's needs and often those not at the table. Third, training and education. Boost will provide professional development for youth development, cultural responsivity, academic support and achievement, and holistic youth wellness. We envision a community that supports and recognizes quality out-of-school time standards and best practices, and has the knowledge and resources in order to locally train and develop professionals that work with you. As you can see here, we started a little over a year ago when Mayor Poe commissioned the Youth Summit. A grassroots effort has been steadily developing over the past year, and many school district administrators and others have been at these meetings. So as it stands, over 50 organizations, departments, institutions, and groups have attended Boost meetings and provided input. The school district is one of the top 10 largest providers of out-of-school time for youth in the county, which is why we feel it's critical that the school board and district staff are all part of decisions that deal with youth.
I'm Dr. Deborah Mosley. I'm an assistant professor at the University of Florida in the psychology department and a member of the Youth Development Research Practice Partnership. And I'm here with some of my colleagues, Dr. Dana Halton, our legal investigator, and Dr. from the College of Law, and Dr. Rose Pringle from the College of Education. Essentially, we came together with a group of researchers, attending these meetings, and also otherwise working on youth development initiatives around research and advocacy. And we set out to conduct a study, partnered with Boost to evaluate the services that were being provided in the area to our youth. So we conducted data from over 40 stakeholders from the Boost Alliance, asking providers to share with us what they perceive to be the needs and challenges of local youth, as well as the needs and challenges of local youth providers. Essentially, we organized that data, analyzed it in the context of what the academic literature suggests about the topics that Boost identified. And there are two major areas of our findings. So on the left side of the screen, you see the current domains of service that we are regularly providing to the youth here, and on the right side is the positive youth development model. For each of the domains, the research statement which we receive provides information that we expect Boost organizations to use as they circle and focus in the areas where they're already providing services, and to learn about the other kinds of work that our community would benefit from. So, for example, these last two domains on the left, gender and sexual identity development and racial and ethnic identity development, there's human and violent Boost providers that actually focus on youth, and we know that youth between ages of 6 to 18, these identities are emerging and kind of staying at different points in time and need to attend to them. And I think the fact that we don't contributes to some of the great disparities that we see in our county. And so the right hand of the slide is the project we developed framework, which emerged out of developing psychology to really ask the question, what are the key experiences and interactions that youth need to develop into healthy adults? And so caring, connection, and confidence, all of these domains key component things if you think about when we develop programming, interventions, education programs for our youth, and many of you are aware of it, but our hope is that looking at it in conjunction with the services we're providing, adopting it as a culture that all of you want to work with the youth in our county, that we can really lead to change and systematic ways that we isolate change from different models. Beyond these two areas, we also identified some areas where there was, again, where we did not see coverage in out-of-school time services. We know that there are national crises around literacy or suicidality or home environment, and the youth in our county are not new to them. And so being able to systematically look at the way that out-of-school time services are attending to those issues will help our youth perform better academically and become healthy adults. Finally, we provided notes with a series of implications from our study and recommendations that we as a system supporting youth should take. I hope to show in terms of the research brief in detail. I'll just highlight the one that is the most important to us, and that's really that we just need to know more. We need to talk to youth and understand what their needs and challenges are, and we need to do so in a nuanced, systematic, inclusive, and intentional way, using the best of the research gives us in how we understand what youth needs are. You know, the way that we ask questions, who's asking the questions, what status and access can influence what we get back from youth, and we think that that should be important for what they do and the services that we provide to them. So, I'll refer you to the entire research statement with a complete list of our recommendations, but foremost, we suggest that as a community of adults supporting the youth in our county, that we adopt a positive youth development model, that we adopt this culture of positive youth development, and really think strategically about how we can help those who are the most vulnerable, and in doing so help all of the youth in our county.
Thank you very much. After we go on the floor.
Yeah, we'll go to our full 10 if you loud. That'd be great. Our final points in this presentation are our vision and proposed solutions. If you remember from an earlier slide, our current youth system was represented with individual silos, all orbiting in their own universe. Boost proposes a new way forward by developing a system for youth that connects youth service providers, institutions, and families so that youth are at the center of an organized and efficient system. Boost believes we can develop a system where all youth needs are able to be met by aligning resources and worthy initiatives into common goals, objectives, and outcomes that are measurable, equitable, and have accountability. And now, with the passing of the Children's Trust, we have a real opportunity to make this vision into a reality, which leads us to our next step. We are advocating that the school district to embrace Boost as an ally and use it as a resource. We ask that you view after-school and summer programs as an ally in the solution to some of the challenges that the district faces currently. For example, part of Kids Count's mission is to improve reading literacy skills during the after-school hours. That is an example of both the after-school provider matching up with the school district's initiatives. Secondly, continuum of care. Since the school hours and homework time takes the majority of a child's free time outside of home, Boost is advocating that the district and all out-of-school providers coordinate, cooperate, and complement each other's work. Lastly, we have studied many other out-of-school time alliances, and one of the key pillars of each model are the strong working relationship between the district that they serve in and the out-of-school alliance, usually in the form of an MOU. So we are requesting to start that process of an MOU between Boost and the district. So we thank you for this opportunity. And lastly, we want to thank the Donald and Barnett at SBM Architects and Planners for designing this presentation that we have presented last week at the City Commission meeting on the mayor's agenda. And also, we would like for any Boost, we are part of a larger Boost coalition, but we have a smaller working group called the Boost Leadership Team. So anybody involved in Boost or has attended a Boost meeting, we'd like for you to stand up and at least be recognized here in support. And the research team and the research practice partnership as well. So this group of 50+ people and executive directors and leaders in our communities have supported Boost over the last year, and we are extremely thrilled, and we thank you for this opportunity to present to you.
much, and it's certainly an inspiring and thorough presentation. I think all of you can be awesome here because you were getting through it, and I really appreciate that, and so I do appreciate the work that went behind this and the commitment to children. That's very important for everyone in Alachua County. Okay, I guess we do have a couple more comments, so let's go.
Thank you. I'd like to thank the Booster team for coming out. I'd like to thank the providers for all that you've been doing in our community and working so hard with limited resources. There never seems to be enough money to do everything that needs to be done in such a week. And thank you all for coming and asking for the partnership. We had at 4 o'clock our update on our strategic plan, a data workshop that was presented to us by Mr. Conley. And in that plan, it showed the stagnant or the prescriptive achievement gap that we have between our students of color and white students in our district. So we need up. We need to do something different. We need to do more than the school day. There are some students who may come from homes who don't have a parent or guardian who can help them, or they may be working and a better use of out of school time is differently in order. So I appreciate the acronym and I appreciate you all coming. I am a little bit biased because I am affiliated in some way and I support wholeheartedly one of the programs that provider who did the presentation, Releasing Emotion, because I've seen what they've done in the lives of students. My daughter was a participant at the Grove Place, and I know the work that goes on there. I also went and evaluated two of the programs in this current United Way grant cycle, and I've seen the work that they're doing. So, as a school board member, I'm just one of 5, but we have my wholehearted support because I know the need that's in the community for students, not just students of color, but all students, all parents that are working. We need help. I know I need help in keeping my children engaged and occupied, and I have resources, so I can only imagine that for someone who didn't have the resources that I have. So I really appreciate your work. It's sometimes the things that happen with you is a thankless job because you don't have the agency behind you, but I thank you all for coming together as community members and being grassroots and trying to reach out and help our community. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Bailey.
I'm so sorry, I'm second because you took everything I wanted to say. But I'm just so thankful to be a part of this presentation tonight. You certainly enlightened me. I'd like to get a little closer with some of the slides because of some things that are in me that we see everything. But I'd like to have a copy to go back through and take a look at everything and kind of internalize it. Yes, you are doing marvelous work. I'm glad that you gave to the city the same presentation. I hope you'll go maybe even to the county, I don't know. But we all should be partnering with what you have shared with us tonight. Our children are so valuable. Our children are what we need to lift up at every cost. You know, I hear budget from Assistant Superintendent Rella, and I always say to him, money, I don't want to hear that part. I want to hear where you can find more so that we can do more. And I think the school system does a great job with that, but in as much that we are already partnering in some manner with you, I know that we are going to extend the partnership. We must. And as board member Certain said about the review that we had just at 4 o'clock with where we are, yes, we're in a district. But don't ever forget, because I don't think the Gainesville Sun really did a great job with it. We are proud of being in a district, but it's more to it when you look at the intricate pieces that make up the aid and all of the other things that we have not been able to accomplish. We have acknowledged that, and so now that we've acknowledged where we need to go, with us as well. I know Mrs. Emotion does that. I don't know all of the other after-school programs, but I'm sure I see Dr. House, Dr. Taylor, all of you great people in the audience with many of the other folks that stood, because I don't know your name. Sometimes we get in trouble when you can't call people's names, but I care about what you are, who you are, what you're doing with our youth. It is just incredible. But I know you need more funds, you need more support, and I, as one of the five up here, want to give that to you. So this was not a presentation just to go to the wayside. I'm going to be talking with my good friend, the superintendent of schools, to see what else does she want to do. And, well, we can't talk with the other board members, so that's unfortunate. But I'll talk to her, I'll talk to Assistant Superintendent White, Assistant Superintendent Purvis, Assistant Superintendent Rella, Mrs. Jackie Johnson, Mr. Thomas, Reginald Thomas, and Deputy Superintendent Jones, Attorney Moore, who just got back from Europe. I think it is important, and you black back there, Holly, Title I person, Jenny Wise, and I can't think of Mr. Barry, Kevin Barry. All of us together will make a huge road that will bring in our kids. I see Mrs. Neal back there, and also our ESC director. My name is escaping me. But we all care about our youth. And I'm here to tell you, we can do this. Thank you for your time. Thank you for the presentation. But this is not the last time that I expect to see any of you. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Dr. Neely. It's now time for citizen input. It's requested that comments be limited to 3 minutes. And I do have 2 sheets that were turned in, and I hope I can read these correctly. So if I mispronounce something, please, I won't be offended if I'm corrected. I think, is it last name Johnson? And is it Christie? That I look like a dot to me, so I apologize. Representative Girlsplay.
Yes, sir. Like you said, my name is Krista Arrington. I'm the executive director of Girls Post. And Girls Post has been in the community for about 35 years. And I'm incredibly proud to be a part of this Boost project. I started Girls Post about 17 years ago, and the training I got was you'll figure it out. Needless to say, that's not helpful by any means. And so I go as an individual and grown up as an organization, and it's been very important for us to be a lot more purposeful. And from that, I joined the food program, which was a year and a half different program, and initially focused on program, getting on grade level reading-wise, and getting more into grade mark in the last year or so. And then we have Brain Power, which is a mental health program. And those of you who have worked with children, you know that we're really good at giving hugs. We're really compassionate, we're really good at listening, but actually having the skill to make a change in that child's life, we don't have it. And so Brain Power program is a mental health program that offers one-on-one counseling to our kids and after family counseling as well. And our goal is we're partners with the schools, we're partners with the families, we're partners with our girls, and what Boost will bring to us is a better partnership. We're always asking what curriculum looks like. What are you teaching in the schools? What are you doing with trauma-informed care and trauma response civics so that you can benefit that? So language that we all use in the schools, we want to be using it in our school programming as well. And so I'm really looking forward to this opportunity to grow as an organization and to grow to be better partners for the school system, but more importantly, to be better partners for our girls so that we're all giving them what they need. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next, Raquel Brown.
Good evening. My name is Raquel Brown. I'm the manager of Educational Partnerships with United Way. And I also see our Reading House program at United Way. I'm also serving as the group coordinator booth organizations to bring this together. So we have a number of after-school programs who are really excited about the collaborations that can happen with booths. We've already started to brainstorm collaborations that can happen amongst programs, after-school programs, to meet some of their initial needs, whether that be having more volunteers, whether that be collaborating on new initiatives that will come into their programs. And so I am just wanted to express my excitement about our continued collaboration and support and work with the school board. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Very positive behavior. I really, there's such good energy in my one day out here tonight. It's exciting. Okay, I think we're ready for the consent agenda, so we will move to Superintendent Clark.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I recommend that the board approve the consent agenda as described in items 1 through 8, number 10, number 12, number 15, number 17, numbers 19 through 21, 24 through 25, and 27 through 35.
Do I have a motion?
That is by minus 33. So I'm sorry, 27 through 32 and 34 and 35.
Okay.
And that's the last one.
Still want to make a motion as well?
Yes.
Okay, motion. Do we have a second? Motion by Ms. Roy, second by Dr. Nealon. Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye. Opposed? Motion passes 5-0. That moves us to action item 2, Mr. Berman.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. With employee case 2018-19, 800171, the superintendent recommends that the employee be terminated effective July 24th, 2019.
Do we have a second? Motion by Ms. Roy, second by Ms. Burton. Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye. All opposed? Motion passes 5-0. Mr. Prince.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. In regards to employee case 2018-19, 903673, the superintendent recommends that the employee be terminated effective July 24th, 2019.
Motion. Motion by Ms. Roy, seconded by Dr. Nealon. Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye. Opposed? Motion passes 5-0. Okay, this money. Working on that.
A public hearing was held on June 18th, 2019. The board approval is requested on the adoption recommendations from the Instructional Materials Committee for African American History. The superintendent recommends that the school board approve the instructional material recommendations as presented.
Motion by Ms. Roy, seconded by Dr. Paulson. Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye. Opposed? Motion passes 5-0. Mr. Moore.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is the second reading for amendments to the 2019-2020 Code of Student Conduct for both elementary and secondary schools, the 2019-20 Student Investment Plan, and various school policies. The superintendent recommends that the school board approve the proposed amendments to the 2019-20 Code of Student Conduct for elementary and secondary, the 2019-20 Student Progression Plan, and proposed adoption of amendment to board policy as set forth in the attached documents as presented.
Motion. Motion by Ms. Copeland, second by Ms. Roy. Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye. Opposed? Motion passes 5-0. Mr. White.
Mr. Chair. Construction Management Services Racing Project 8A180, New Elementary School outside. Superintendent recommends the school board at the following ranking: Paris McCall Construction Agency, Florida, Charles Paris Martin, Gainesville, Florida, Scorpio Corporation.
Okay, do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second, anyone? Motion by Ms. Roy, second by Dr. Neely. Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye. Aye, opposed? Motion passes 5-0. Okay, now we're moving to action item number 7, and this will be the one. That's from
Mr. Chairman, professional services fee for project 8183 Midtown Elementary redesign and redevelopment. We recommend that the school board approve Rose Widows Architect, Orlando, Florida, as design professional on this project. It is requested that the school board approve a negotiated fee of 7.41% of the construction cost plus additional services and reimbursable expenses for professional services on this project.
now motion.
So moved.
Motion by Ms. Roy, second by Ms. Sutton. I know we have board member questions or comments. I don't see a light, but I'm sending you back to them.
It is, but just to say, I guess I'll reset my numbers. I had it down as number 9. Okay.
Yes, Brian, you can't go.
Okay. My question, Mr. White. I noticed that the fee was $747,470, and then under the additional services and expenses, it was another $191,591.14. My question is, totaling $939,061.14, how in the world, I mean, this is quite a bit for Metcalf. And I'm just wondering, can we afford this?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm glad you said it so quickly. When you have spoken with the administrator at that school, has there been any more concentration with that individual since last year when you first approached the forums and different things that you were doing at individual schools?
We had the principals involved in the selection process for these architects. They were members of the committee. And then based on that recommendation and ranking, that came to the board. And then once that ranking came to the board, staff went back and negotiated the fee with which we are comfortable. And we have, we'll start having stakeholder meetings in August.
Let's go over to the DRMP, and this is my friend as well. The civil engineering fee, $99,000, and I would imagine that we're going to have that company on each and every renovation or whatever we're doing.
No, ma'am, that's not correct.
That's not correct? Okay. So do we think it might be lower or higher? I don't know how you arrive at these figures. I'm just looking at the bottom line, $939,000.
Well, and part of the backup, ma'am, there's actually a guide, a rate guide that the architects and designers use based on the complexity of the project. So all these numbers are within those guidelines. Our staff spent time negotiating every aspect of the thing, simply accept the numbers, but we are comfortable with the total fee on it based on the project. So with engineering, you have to do stormwater management calculations, drainage. There are a number of factors that are involved with that. But I'm very comfortable. Facility staff's been very diligent with respect to all of our contracts. So we're prepared to move forward.
Thank you so much, Mr. White.
Okay, thank you. Action item 8, that's Mr. White. I'm sorry, I'm just trying to move on, so I'll do work. Oops. Any further discussion? All in favor, please say aye. Opposed? Motion passes 5-0. Mr. White, we're at action item 8, which is the former 11.
Okay. Mr. Chair. The superintendent recommends the board approve the submittal of the feasibility and modernization assessment study application, aka the quality application for the Howard Bishop Middle School. I believe you received a copy of what the full document looks like in the submittal, and this is what goes to the state to approve the proposed demolitions involved with that school, as we've done in the past. Staff will carry that document up and meet with the DOE staff on this project. So we recommend your approval. It has to be approved by the board before we can submit it to the state.
Okay, do I have a motion? Second. Motion by Ms. Roy, second by Dr. Roy. Discussion. Well, yes.
I have a question on Mr. White, and I was a little confused when I read under consent. It says feasibility of modernization assessment study application, also known as the Solving Act, for Howard Bishop Middle School redesign and redevelopment. But when you look in, it mentions, which is the first step for the redesign and redevelopment of Metcalf Elementary. So I wasn't,
That's the top
that
line.
was made,
That's the top of the
that I
consent
caught.
position.
Thank you.
Okay. Any further discussion?
I hope they approve this because my son was asbestos there, and I hope that the students are going to start at the new asbestos.
Yes, ma'am, but there's a very specific mandated process for that, so we will follow that process, and it will be done appropriately.
I would say that probably most places I went to, 40 years ago, just before, 50 years ago, had that space at the time, but, I suppose. Okay. Any further?
Let me just say, as long as it's in council and it's in code,
Okay, Ms. Warren?
I was just going to thank the board for this meticulous description of all of the horrible conditions of this 57-year-old school, and meticulous and very disturbing. And thank God for the African sales tax. So we can keep it and protect the children that go to them.
Okay, any further discussion? All in favor, please say aye. Opposed? Motion passes 5-0. Ms. White? This was action item 9, formerly known as 13.
Thank you. The superintendent recommends the board approve and accept the amendment forwarded and been approved by the Department of Education and Bureau of School Improvement. The amendment was submitted in order to reassign Unified School Improvement grant funds in the amount of $121,737.73 to meet the needs of the identified schools. A separate budget is amended for each school because funds were allocated in different amounts to each of the identified schools.
We have a motion.
Second.
Motion by Dr. Colson, seconded by Ms. Roy. Discussion.
the amount of money that we will be receiving if there is any road grant. I don't know if we can do that with this grant. If there's money unspent, does that roll forward, for the following year, or what happens with that?
This amount is what was adjusted, they were assigned a larger amount, and I don't have those numbers in front of me and have expended those. So these were the adjustments in the roll forward. The unitary grants do not have roll forward dollars.
Okay.
So that's why we put to the amendment to try and expend those because of the barriers schools have in spending some of the funds.
So with these amounts listed for each of the schools, does that mean that it'll be back to zero because they will utilize all of the money?
I can't tell you that tonight.
Okay.
We can tell you that in the future, but I cannot tell you that tonight.
All right, thank you.
Well, the other question was looking at the dollar amounts, the number was adjusted for the total amount that was originally allocated to the school. And I was wondering what's the basis for allocating the basis? Because I know to look at twice as much as the other schools. There's a formula based on eligible students, and we could get that to you. I don't have it in front of me. That's all you can get. It's a formula that comes to us when we're given those amounts. Okay, thank you.
Any further discussion? All in favor, please say aye. Opposed? Motion passes 5-0. Thank you. Ms. Kinlaw.
The superintendent recommends the approval of this memorandum of agreement with the Department of Health to provide oral health services at the designated schools.
We have a motion.
Second.
Motion by Ms. Roy, second by Dr. Neely. Any discussion?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I wanted to know if you by any chance had the names of the schools that we were, and it might have been in this district.
It's not. It's a great question. And the schools include 8 elementary schools. They are Archer Elementary, Metcalf, Lake Forest, Rawlings, Shell, Idlewild, Terwilliger, and Newberry Elementary, and 2 middle schools, Hawthorne Middle and Lincoln. Thank you.
Okay. Any further discussion? All in favor, please say aye. Opposed? Motion passes 5-0. Thank you. Mr. Juarez. Ms. Juarez, I'm sorry. I thought Ms. Juarez was earlier. I guess we can only got it.
All right, here's the call. All right. So this is the contract between the school board and Early Learning Coalition to provide child care at our teen parent program at Lofton High School. And the contract is for the 180 days of school.
Okay, do I have a motion?
Second.
Motion by Dr. Paulson, second by Ms. Roy. Discussion.
Mrs. Juarez, we love babies. How many infants are in the teen program, or estimate, or based on what we had last year?
Well, it's a moving target, and I don't know. I would have to phone a friend. I'd have to call and ask Mr. McElroy if he has an idea how many will be there. I don't know if anyone else here knows because I don't know. The babies come and go.
And some of these are for the vouchers that we actually give to the girls, so that the baby may not be at the Lofton nursery on our campus.
There may be a daycare that's
They
more
will
accessible to
provide
them.
the daycare with a voucher from EMC, so that also can be a moving target. Because if the girl doesn't complete the course that she's required and meets her compliance to receive that voucher, so it's kind of a moving target. But we can give you the average number of babies, and that fluctuates year over year depending on where they are. But it's also
They're not required to bring them to the Lofton location, although many of them do.
So we fund the vouchers for the girls to take to outside daycare through ELC to receive it if they're not bringing it to the nursery.
Okay. And I noticed here in the packet, Mrs. Hodges is the chief executive officer for that program for early learning coalition. Is that okay?
Thank you so much.
Okay. favor, please say aye. Opposed? Motion passes 5-0. Mr. Carter.
Chairman, this was my topic, we considered the University of Florida to provide some coaching, some of our, intern teachers, and basically what happens is UF pays management for our TSA coaches' salaries in order to be involved. And then we had this contract with UF, I think this is the 4th year now over this. And so the superintendent recommends that that you all approve us entering into the agreement again for upcoming school year.
Thank you. That's a motion. Motion by Governor Daly, seconded by Ms. Lloyd. Question, comment?
Yes, they are certified athletic trainers, is that, am I on the wrong one?
You're
Yes,
on
I'm
number
on the
22.
Oh, I can give you 20.
No,
Well,
he's going to the state.
yes, all right. Oh, okay.
After we've already approved.
I just, the superintendent said she would ask the question later, but number 20. All right, so this is 22. So I guess my question, I had it underlined. The University of Florida will be covering half-time TSA salary and benefit. And I guess to our staff, when they're not doing this, what will that individual be, their responsibility to be at that point?
This is actually one of our full-time mentor coaches. We pay her full-time. The University of Florida reimburses half of that salary to us in order for us to allow her extra release time, if you will, to work specifically with those interns that they have working in our schools with the elementary coaching program. It's really a great benefit to us because, as you know, a lot of those interns the following year apply for and become teachers within the district. So it actually gives us, on the university's dime, an opportunity to work with those brand new folks a year ahead of time.
Okay, thank you so much.
You got it, Ms. Harden.
I have a question, Mr. Carl. What's the final 4+1? I understood the coaching, but I was on page 2 under Exhibit A, scope of services, and then it has SBAC responsibility, and A, it says assisting placement students in the charter 4+1 program.
That's the UF program, sorry, I caught you at a moment there. That's actually in the agreement that you're looking at in the backup. Yeah, that's a program that, and I don't know what the acronym stands for, but it's something that UF is doing with a specific group of their interns.
I can provide a little insight into that also. UF over the last couple of years has done the same thing. They posted some trainees, pre-service teachers, and so if they were to bring a team back over, we would assist them replacing those teachers, pre-service teachers. So kind of like a exchange program. That did not happen last year, as I recall, but there was a visit like the year before, so I think it's an impetus on this kind of situation.
I think we're good, and I think we should clearly include it as we say, change the patterns. But the bulk of the work that this person does is with those interns that are working in our schools and with the folks at UF that are doing the UF training.
Okay. Any further comments? All in favor, please say aye. Opposed? Motion passes 5-0. Mr. Conley, you're still up. Item 13.
Sure, we're on 13, which is formerly 33, which is our Title I Part C education and migratory children of the county education consortium. The district, our district is the host for this program. We serve not only the migratory students in Alachua County, but students in 11 other districts, and we receive the funding for this program, based on the numbers of students that are in each of those districts. This is a program that's been around for a number of years. It's an entitlement program, and the district has been the consortium host for at least my 15 years at the district office, and beyond that. And the superintendent recommends that you all approve the application for this program and yet for the upcoming school year.
Motion by Dr. Daly, second by Ms. Roy, discussion.
Yes, I wanted to ask you about our posting system model. I know that you all have been doing this a long time, and it's a big pot of money, and we are providing services for the other districts as well. I'm sure that they would help us at some point. You've written the grant, you've gotten it approved, but it looks like we do all the work, do we not?
Well, we also get the funding that would normally flow to those counties for that work. And the advantage, the advantage to us doing this, most of these are migratory children, so they may be in Citrus County 1 month, and then the next month they're in Gilchrist, and then maybe the next month they're in Alachua County. And so this allows us to actually monitor these children from county to county to make sure that they're receiving educational services.
Okay, all right.
Okay,
That's for me, Ms. Goodenough.
any further discussion? Okay, all in favor, please say aye. Opposed? Motion passes 5-0. Now, we're going to Ms. Lawrence.
Thank you. This is the contract that outlines the agreement between the school board and Sequel Youth and Family Services, who is our provider at the Alachua County, but also at the Regional Detention Center. But this specific item is the contract that we have with them at the Alachua County.
Okay, we have a motion. Motion by Ms. Roy, second by Dr. Paulson. Discussion. Okay.
I've never heard of one of these.
Yes, ma'am. They're an educational agency that we're bound to, as their local education authority, to provide educational services. And at one time, we did have our own teachers in the Juvenile Detention Center and Alachua Academy. However, the detention center and Alachua Academy, it's hard to fill all of our vacancies and all that, but they made the decision to go with us, a collaborative decision to go with an outside provider, an outside vendor for services. And so we collaborate and support their teachers through teacher training, support from curriculum, GED services. We do a lot of collaborating with them with GED, but they are the actual providers, the face-to-face providers of the services to the young ladies in this program.
Thank you.
And it's an academic and social, emotional job. Their curriculum is not just on parents.
Any further discussion? All in favor, please say aye. Opposed? Motion passes 5-0. Mr. Connell, you're back.
So, let's see, we are on item 23, I believe. Took notes correctly. This is our Title II Part A Supporting Effective Instruction Program. This is a entitlement program that allows us to provide a large amount of teacher training to our teachers across the district and also to our district administrators. And the superintendent recommends, of course, approve this grant.
Okay. Second. Motion by Dr. Paulson, second by Ms. Roy.
Mr. Connell, I read the attachment that was given to us. Who was the needs assessment?
The needs assessment really for this grant is pretty much ongoing. We have a number of, we have a monthly curriculum meeting where we bring all the department chairs together and we gather information and that kind of from those folks as to what needs are in terms of teacher training. We also take input from principals at the monthly principal meetings and through the superintendent's office and with Dr. Jones to coordinate needs at the school for planning. And that's the basic way that needs assessment is done for this program. But we also look at our district time at schools and our high-need schools particularly, so that we make sure that we are identifying trends that are going to address the needs of the focus of those schools assessment.
Thank you. I guess that's the time. Okay. The other thing I had a question was where was the budget? There's some budget line items that were referencing the copy at the page.
And I'm sorry, I don't have that.
It's not in here either, so I apologize.
Okay.
Like it wasn't
You need to call a copy of the budget.
I just wanted to see it. There's nothing there, and I read it, and I didn't see it. I
There
don't
will
know.
be one there, and I'm sorry I may have not omitted from the packet, but I can make sure that you've got a copy of the detailed budget for that particular grant program.
And I will just say, I was only asking I asked about, not only asking, but I asked about the needs assessment, because I think when we're applying for grants and we do things like this, like when I read it, I just want to make sure that we're not just going through the motion and filling out an application and saying we're doing things and we're evaluating stuff and we really are.
Well, I want to assure you that one of the things that we get monitored on annually for all our federal programs, particularly the title programs, are our needs assessments and how we're doing it. And so when the DOE monitors us, we have to actually send them data, and we have to actually send them basically proof that we have conducted meetings and held the kinds of discussions that we need to be having to determine what we're funding through these programs.
Okay, all in favor, please say aye. Aye, all opposed? Motion has been called to order. And that brings us to action item 16, Mr. Thomas.
Yes, my fill again, right? Mr. Chair, Title IV Student Support Academic Enrichment Program it's actually a relatively new program. It was just authorized 3 years ago under ESSA. This is an entitlement grant that provides support to school districts in order to do three things, and we actually have to divide the funds into 3 areas. One is to provide students with access to well-rounded education. 2 is to improve safe and healthy school conditions for student learning. And 3 is to improve the use of technology in order to improve academic achievement and digital literacy. And so, therefore, we've applied for these funds as we have done in the past 2 years. And the superintendent recommends that the board approve this application for the Department of Education for this program.
Do I have a motion? Motion by Dr. Paulson, second by Ms. Moore. Ms. Swift.
Again, I was just asking, wanted to ask, when was the stakeholder consultation done for the past 3 years, I guess?
So again, it's very similar to what we do with Title II. It's a variety of things that we do. We do pull groups together. We seek input from schools. We seek input from the district staff. We consult with our data and research department to look at our school-wide data and identify needs. This particular grant, one of the things that we did receive input on and have in the past couple of years funded, we are funding a fairly large segment of our equity efforts through this program. So we have put in place in some of our schools some programs to assist in improving the number of students of color who are in our advanced coursework. We've also funded some training and some of the other activities to add training and such for some of our schools that are in an attempt to improve our equity efforts across the district.
That's good to hear. I'm wondering, then, if we could, I'm not sure if the superintendent of finance, Mr. Miller, if there is a code amount that can be used that we could apply to expenditures that are equity related, so that at some point in time we want to run a report to be able to do something like that, to accumulate what we spent on equity efforts and the funding source.
We have quite a bit of examples. So in terms of when you say object codes, those are all kind of defined.
Well, one part of that account number, I don't know what the top
Yes,
account is.
want to tell different most of the dimensions of folks are determined by the red book. The one that we determine is the project head. The issue that we run into is we use so many different pots of money, different funding sources, a lot of which are categorical, whether it's REAP money or a lot of the federal funds. We have to specifically track those with the project provided by the grant folks. So we can't just simply put an equity project code in, as you mentioned, but there are some things we've worked out, we'll continue to look at. It would be, honestly, it would be nice to be able to run a report, as you mentioned, so we can track exactly everything we're doing correctly. So we'll continue to look at that, and the project code at this point was added for us.
Go ahead. Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Carl, have students been engaged in this? And that's just some things that, you know, like asking them,
Not directly in the sense that where we can have like a focus group of students come in, but we try to consult with the principals and the school leaders to see what the needs are in their schools as they have to work by these students. It is not impossible to do what you suggested. We certainly could host some sort of a focus group to look at this.
I'm not trying to put my work on anybody. The only thing I'm asking is that when we're applying for grants, I think some of these grants are recurring yearly.
They are. Many of these that you're seeing here, because this is what I call grant season. We start in May, and all the entitlement grants are due by July 1st. And so it's really a push to get a lot of it done, but that's why a lot of this literature stuff that I'm talking about occurs throughout the year, because we just wouldn't have time to keep up with it and try to do it all.
I'm here just trying to ask questions so I can understand. So pardon the repeated question, but I'm just saying since they're recurring, the point I was trying to make is that they're like recurring grants. I think if we're doing these efforts and we can try to refine the process so that when we're getting the money, we can change our practices so that we can see some better outcomes for the students that we're trying to reach with the funding. And on one of the pages in here, even though the students are called Black students were put into advanced classes, it seems like some of them can do very well if I'm correct. I've looked at so many of them, and I'm sorry, I just got a little distracted by some of the colleagues here, but it seems that the students, I think the pages aren't numbered, but I was looking on here that some of the students weren't doing well, and advanced skills is what they need. Black students that were in, that had the number of students with the zero back on the report card.
I think what you're referring to is some of the data that we looked at to try to decide whether or not, where to put the focus. And when we look at the historical data, you are correct. There is a disparity between some of our students of color and non-students of color. So what we have done is to try to put in some support for those students so that they will do better in the future. And I think we do have some data based on this year to indicate that we have moved the needle on that, and also that we have increased the number and percentage of students of color in those advanced classes such as AP, honors, and IB and Cambridge programs.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, Dr. Paul.
Pardon me? With this particular grant, this is actually the one that's written here will be the third year. So we've had it 2 years, yes, sir.
Okay. Any other comments? All in favor, please say aye. Opposed? Motion passes 5-0.
Thank you.
Thank you. Getting the president to our final system input, request a quick comment, approximately 3 minutes. I have not received any forums. Looks like Dr. Ned is approaching welcome, so welcome.
I would just like to ask if we are going to the Green New Deal, that we begin to teach the green new skills. I think that would be a wonderful thing, starting with solar schools, and if we could consider that.
Thank you.
It's all under the superintendent's office, but reviewed by myself and senior leadership. And then the results we then review with the principals from the evaluation process.
And do students take those as well?
In certain grades, they do fifth grade, eighth grade, and 11th, 10th or 11th. We don't do it to all grades, it's becoming overwhelming with 30,000 total. But it is kind of the ending point, because we do have to do senior service also. And so it's one of the grades.
Okay, thank you. Okay, moving on to board member superintendent request. Dr. Lewis.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The superintendent agreed to answer number 20 since we had already passed that one. My question was, is the athletic trainers, the certified athletic trainers, is this for football athletes only?
No, there's some training.
Thank you. Simple.
Dr. Paulson. Okay.
Of course, I'll go after that.
No, there's only one line on it.
Okay, I'll go forward. We are looking in the paper today of the principal over at Metcalf Elementary, Mrs. Rowe, and we certainly want to congratulate her. We certainly want to congratulate Mrs. Bella. Leaving out one, we certainly want to congratulate the principal over in Alachua. All of these principals moved their schools up, and I'm missing someone. Oh my gosh, Mrs. Laura Renfro Creamer. Congratulations to you as well. And to all of the schools that increased their grades, we're so proud of you. You worked hard. As the chair said tonight, it's not always about testing, but in this arena that we live in, it kind of is. And so all of the schools in this district, high school, middle school, and elementary schools, we thank you so much for all that you've done in working with the children. I said all of that to say this. I think I said it with Mr. Dominic earlier. We must not forget the students that fall in 3 schools right now, and that's Williams, Idlewild, and Lake Forest. We are pulling them, and we want to put every bit of our partnerships, volunteerism, if that's the word, to help these 3 schools. We want to see the achievement in all 3. I think that all 3 will no less be a C or better. It can happen. But let me tell you, for the folks who are looking tonight, we need you. I said to the superintendent, after watching especially our retired educators, oh, okay. Something that I shared with Mrs. Carr that I heard Duval District doing, and that is the superintendent rehiring retirees who were in education. I said go beyond that. Hire all people who can come in and help these students. They're not volunteering, though, people. And so that goes back to Mr. Rella. What can we do? How do we incentivize these folks to come in and help? Sometimes money might be the key thing. I don't know. But I hope we would consider it. Do you see the grass that Reading, I don't know what color, mine were orange and blue, but what Mr. Charbonnet gave us today, we have a lot to do. It cannot just be on Ms. Wise, Mr. Bailey. It cannot just be on Superintendent Clark and the deputy. We have to have the focus with the whole community. I'm hoping, people at home, that you are listening to me very soon, right after vacation, next week, to try to get community folk in to see that we need you. It is a dire situation, and we are now acknowledging it, and I am so happy to be a part of the acknowledgement. Retirees, especially those who were highly effective and effective, they can come in as they're doing in Duval County and work with children, students, one-on-one. I'm hoping that we can do that. We have enough people in this community who care about children that I know you will. I want you to be knocking at Mrs. Rose Ramos' door, singing, I want to work, or better still, Mr. Kevin Purvis' door. Yes, he's pointing to himself, that I want to do this. It can be done. We can do it as a group. Please. And my colleagues up here, you are just as valued who can come into the schools as well. I know we can turn this around. I'm hoping the algebra that I heard about earlier, I think Dr. Paulson was a mathematician, he taught math, but there are many others who are math educated. Dr. Viterba, I'm looking at you. I need your help. Mrs. Johnson, I need your help. Mr. Thomas, come from the bus row. I need your help. That's how serious this is. And I'm not trying to prolong tonight, but sometimes people will listen to me and say, I'm going to join the group. We must turn this around. We will turn it around. Now, last one. The teacher situation is serious. I understand from Mr. Purvis and Mrs. Finley today that they had to go all the way back to all of the candidates, applicants who had applied before, all 400 and some, to see if we can still get those qualified people to come into our schools. We must not start the new year with long-term subs. Nothing against subs because we need you, but not at the beginning of the school where we're setting the parameters, the boundaries for our children, and all of the training that teachers have to go through before school day one. Please think about that. We just cannot. We are a district. Let's show some A people in the community. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. I just wanted to make a brief closing comment, and that is the workshop we had today was very lively and getting accurate data and getting some things that we have to look at. And this case in order to work. But there were also quite a bit of data that was pretty good. So I'd like to take no more than 60 seconds and say congratulations and thank you on the learning gains made. Congratulations and thank you on students increasing their scores. This district, we were in dire straits year before last with Hawthorne Middle Senior. And the hashtag all in, that was what it was. And this is sort of what Dr. England said. It was a whole community. The Hawthorne community pushed us over the top on that to change it. We were at Terwilliger, the cafeteria in Terwilliger, last year in August, and we had the big guns from Tallahassee, and you know, that's Terwilliger family, students, teachers, parents, administrators, volunteers, pushed and pushed and pushed, and not only got us free, it wasn't even a low city, so moving along. And of course, there was always like to see good news in the Gainesville Sun. And Dr. McNally, our former colleague at Duval, Jaquetta Wall, we're so proud of her. But it's a matter of we have that commitment, and we're not going to be satisfied until we do everything we can for every child. So I want to say to all the staff, district office staff that's still here and come to work every day trying to figure out different ways to help kids. And are we there yet? No, we're not. But we're going to keep working. And I appreciate everything you do. And I think everybody in this done this appreciates everything you do. So thank you.